I'm your host, Donna Cates, and each week we'll dive into powerful stories, expert strategies, and practical tools to help you take charge of your financial future. Whether you're planning for retirement, navigating a divorce, or simply looking to build your wealth with confidence, this is your space to grow, learn, and thrive. Let's get started with today's podcast. And Lisa is with us today, and Lisa's business has a unique name. And Lisa, I'm going to let you take the honor of announcing the name of your practice to us, and then take about 90 seconds to give us an overview of what it is that you do and why you do it.
Well, hi, I'm Lisa Benson. I am the owner of Ball Designs. That name kind of came from me playing roller derby. And I wanted to keep
That's
that part of my identity with me. So that's where Ball came from. And what I do is I help veterans not just survive post-service, I want to help them thrive post-service. We have too many, 22 a day are committing suicide. And if I can give them hope and peace, I want to be able to do that.
That is so significant. And you've been in the military yourself, right?
Yes, ma'am. I served for 9 years and my husband served for 20. So I got the time in, my time in, but also I consider the spouse time as uh, pretty aggressive. That time being a spouse and being home can be a little bit much sometimes.
It is a huge responsibility, and you have all the travel and the go-to and the worries that anybody, even as if you were in the military yourself. So we get that. Well, tell me I'd love to hear why you got into doing the work that you're doing. I know that, you've been in the military, you've experienced that PTSD kind of stuff. And if I remember correctly, that's why you actually started the roller derby stuff, right? So tell us,
Exactly.
what made you transition into providing this kind of support to military folks?
So this story goes back even further from playing roller derby. My parents divorced my senior year of high school. College for the first 2 years, all of that got paid for, but then they used both my parents' income to allot what kind of grants and aids I would get, and I couldn't afford to go to college. So I joined the military to be able to afford to go to college. And I was doing communication, broadcast television, and marketing while I was in. So then fast forward to 2005 or 2004, and I deployed. And I realized that there was a lot of people that didn't have hope, didn't have direction, and didn't have desire. So I was a victim of sexual assault while I was in. So I definitely had some trauma of my own. And when I came back, I was really struggling to find out who I was. And my dad suggested roller derby because he was coaching in Buffalo, New York, and I had grown up on roller skates. So it was a pretty easy transition for me. And it became an amazing community of strong, like minded women who really gave me the confidence to be myself again. And I started really helping marketing at that point. And I finished my master's in public administration because I was going to help veterans from one way or another. And I found that I couldn't do that from the inside. There's a lot of red tape and a lot of things that we don't necessarily know from the outside. And I know you and I talked a little bit about your past in helping the second divisions get started. You know that there's steps you have to do, and you just have to do them because that's the way they've always been done. So I decided I wanted to be able to help from the other side. And that's when I developed my business, which originally was I was helping coaches and taking the money to help veterans from there. And in the end, what comes to play is one of the coaches said, "You're muddying down your message because you're helping us and you're not helping them the way you want to." And she directed me, and we kind of reworked what I was doing. And now I help veterans help them get started with their business, help them grow their business. I'm looking for the people who are just starting their business. I don't necessarily want somebody that's looking to hit the 7-figure mark. I want to give them hope, peace, and processes.
It sounds like you had a great business model to begin with, but then you pivoted because your message was getting watered down. That's
Mhm.
significant, and so you determined that you could literally be more effective in communicating directly to them and helping them. That's awesome. Wow. So tell me, I know in marketing, it's its own community, right? And there's so many different niches that we all market to. But when you're talking specifically about businesses with veterans who are getting started in business, what kind of problems do you see in your industry, and how are you working to solve that?
Most of the time, it's two things. Either they're broken systems and processes, and people in the military like good systems and like good processes because they don't want to have to think about it, or it's the marketing message. So often we all talk about how our messes are, well, we make our mess our mission. That's simple, that's easy, that's what it is. And the reality is that might be our mess, but it's not somebody else's mess. So we have to learn to talk to them in a language that they understand and meet them where they're at so that we can actually make effective communication for them. And usually if somebody outside of them, outside of their organization can look at it and give them the 5 layers deeper is really what we have to do. And I know you have to do that when you're doing financials. I know you have to do that with everything, but you really have to do that with marketing. But why? But why? But why? And you got to get to the bottom of it all and uncover all the layers so you can really get clear on what it is that who they're really trying to talk to and what they're trying to talk to. Because most people come to you and they're like, I want to market 18 to 45-year-olds, but really my product's for everybody. But if you're talking to everybody, you're talking to no one.
And I will tell you that so much of what you've said resonates with me. It's from, being in running my own business and finding the need of having SOPs and talking to the civilian people in my life. They're going, oh, what? The standard operating procedures, have the go-to, how to do it. And a lot of people, if that's not in place, they just don't want to do the work to make it happen. So what you're doing is helping them take their ideas, put that structure around it, and then target the right people with the right language.
Exactly.
Okay, awesome. Well, I totally get that. So, how is, or what is it that you're doing that makes you unique in the way that you're helping others?
Well, one, our main target audience is veterans, obviously. There's some people that are out there, but they really are after the veterans' money. I want to be able to help them. I don't care. I mean, I do care. I'd like to be able to make money. I'd like to be able to feed my family, that kind of thing. But as a whole, I want to see them survive. I want to see them thrive because, like I said at the beginning, 22 a day are committing suicide. And that's the numbers that we know of. That's entirely too many. Too many because they just don't know that there's hope out there. And I want to show them there's options. So many of them have skills, and we tap into their skills. We don't just look into, oh, this is the spreadsheet that's going to be your step by step on how to. We actually get in, we get to talk to them, we counsel them. We don't counsel them in the terms of medical counseling, but we coach them on what it is and where we can take them no successful. So we get to the heart of it and we take them from with DIY, done for you, done with you, and do it yourself. We all can do it and they can do the spreadsheets, or we can walk through it with them, or we can do the complete one-to-one for them.
That's awesome. And I'm very curious to hear about the different types of businesses that these veterans are starting.
Well, we've got anywhere from a gun shop to, an art store. We've done some coaches. A lot of military do come out when they want to coach. And it's fun thing to coach for golf. It's unique and it's catchy and it's something that they tell you the things that they like to do and how to make a business about it. And it's as simple. We all know ChatGPT and Claude and all of those great AI tools. And you're like, hey, this is what this person's favorite thing to do is. How can we create a career around it? And that's usually one of the first steps we do to get them started, to figure out what it is that they want to do. And then we kind of get to the meat and potatoes behind it.
I bet it's awesome. It's so empowering to them to have somebody take what they're thinking about and turn it into a legitimate business opportunity.
Yes. And, there are things that you have to have structured. Like your finances need to be structured, because if your finances aren't structured, you have no legs to stand on for your business. But the rest of the stuff is kind of flowing. A business plan does need to have a little bit of structure, especially if you're going to look for grants and whatnot. And those that are in the military and those who have served and those that are tangential to the military have some opportunities for grants that not everybody has that access to. And we'd like to be able to help them get those things in place. I've got one client that is getting ready to start a therapy center outside of Range Tech, which therapy for PTSD survivors, whether they're military PTSD survivors or children who are in traumatic situations. It's going to be a pretty amazing thing. And we've been walking through the different layers of grants that she can look at and things like that to get her the legs she needs to make her business so she can get her service.
Oh, wow, that sounds so fascinating. Well, I want to shift gears a little bit and ask you to share this with us. Lisa, if you could just tell us whether it's a personal challenge or a business challenge, what's the biggest failure or challenge that you've faced to this point in your life, and how has that shaped the way you're doing business today?
I think personal challenges. Obviously, you can see I was born with small eyes. And every so often, it really hits you that you're different, that things are different, and because we're constantly bombarded with social media every day, all day, especially in the field that I'm in, you kind of have to, you kind of lose yourself, and you not misunderstand. Your self reflection is wrong. Your mirror is askew. And to be able to take a step back, a few weeks ago, I had my VA do all my social media content, and I got on, and this is not a promo for this, but I worked on this where you work on making effective, lasting change in your business, and I didn't do anything online. I didn't do any extra work. I just physically self-reflected and got back in touch with me so that I wasn't continuously bombarded by the things that were making me question who I was.
Wow. Okay, that's a big life lesson right there, and it's lose it. It's so easy for us to lose ourselves because we're so busy trying to live up to somebody else's standard, and
Mm-hmm.
nobody should have that kind of pressure. So yay for you. So is the book out now?
This is actually a book, and it's working through. It's kind of like a self-reflection journal piece that I got TikTok shop got me basically, but they personalize it. They have you do a whole survey before you actually get the journal. So the journal is meant to make the changes you want to make, and it kind of guides you through getting to there. And it's pretty
Wow.
awesome. It's called Lasting Change.
Okay, that's awesome. Everybody needs to check that out. It sounds like a great resource. All right, so now I'm going to ask you another question. Um, if you could have lunch with one single person, whether they're living or deceased, who would that be and why?
My grandmother, because she died when I was 8.
Oh my
So I
goodness.
didn't get to
Okay.
know who she was. I didn't get to know all the amazing things, but it would be my grandmother.
Okay. And missed
Now, if we're
opportunity.
talking Robbins, I would love to sit down and have a conversation with Mel Robbins. But if I had only one person to choose, it would be grandma.
Okay, got it. And grandmother is probably the close and most intimate and lost opportunity for you there. But with
Yep.
Mel Robbins, why would you be choosing him?
It's actually a she. She's a
Oh, my goodness. Oh, I know, and I know that. I'm so
Yep.
sorry.
No, that is absolutely all right. I know you're busy on doing all these things, but she is. I love her personality. It would be her or Gary Vee, but I would choose her because I tend to. There's more comfort in finding power in women, and I love to be able to support other women in business. And I think she's just her quirky personality and the fact that she just kind of pulls out the nuances from you that you don't necessarily know that you have, and just she makes you think even if she's not having a conversation with you and she's just posting something.
Yeah, and my personal experience is that she doesn't hold back on anything. It's just kind of like real,
Mm-hmm.
and I love those real conversations.
Yep, and that's why I like Gary Vee too. I don't know if you've watched Gary Vaynerchuk at all. His
Yes.
He is a harder edge version of Mel Robbins to me. They cut to the quick because they're like, nope, you don't need the fluff. You just need to know this. And it's
And I
something I
love that.
admire.
Yes, I love it. And it's like nobody has enough time already. So if we can cut to the chase and get to what we really need, that's all wonderful without being
Mhm.
harsh or mean or anything like that, of course. All right.
Right.
Awesome. All right. Well, tell me, I would love for my listeners to know how to contact you. Should they need your services or be interested in learning more about you? So, where can they find you?
Anything DeBella DeBall, DeBellaDeBall.com, DeBellaDeBallDesigns.com. I'm also available on social media, all things DeBella DeBall. If you're on LinkedIn, it's Lisa Benson, and then it'll have DeBellaDeBall.com or DeBella. You'll see it within the thing. And my business page has a little bit on it, but I'm on my personal page all the time. So I love to make connections. I actually use my LinkedIn more as a connection platform rather than a sales platform because I don't know about you guys, but I am tired of getting all the inbox DMs. I've got this product for you. I've got this item. I just want to be there to support other business owners and cheer them on. If they need my services, I'll love to help them. But if they just need a cheerleader, I'd like to help them with that too.
Oh, that is so awesome. Well, I'm so delighted that we got to meet today and that we had you on the podcast. So, thank you so much for being our guest today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so glad I got to be here.
I hope today's conversation left you feeling inspired, informed, and ready to take the next step in your financial journey. Remember, building wealth isn't just about money, it's also about creating a life that aligns with your goals and values. If you found this episode valuable, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with the women in your life who deserve financial empowerment too. Until next time, stay confident, stay empowered, and keep building the life you desire.